Real Madrid lost 3 points again against Mallorca, which means they are 8 points behind Barcelona, which also means maybe the La Liga title is over for Real Madrid. Let's quickly react to ESPN's analysis.
Doing enough in open play, really, to test that Mallorca defence enough. A big defeat for Ancelotti's side, who've been struggling. They've only got 14 points in the last 9 matches. They have not been on a good run at all. We've seen glimpses of brilliance from them, but not enough. Pablo, what's going wrong with them?
Well, I think it's just about confidence, consistency. They lost 2 important players. I mean, Benzema is a key player for Real Madrid. I mean, if you don't go in the transfer market in January, you bring another striker, you can have those problems. You can have some of your key players injury, and then have players to replace them. I mean, Rodrigo could play as a number 9, but it's not the same. You have Benzema in the team, or another striker, which is a proper number 9 to play in that team. I mean, I don't know. It's something that's they need to find consistency again. We haven't seen that Real Madrid that we saw at the beginning of the season. They were strong. They were clinical in front of the goal. I mean,
admittedly, missing out Benzema and Courtois is a huge blow for Real Madrid. Like, those two are the fundamental for Real Madrid's success last season. At the same time, missing out those 2 players should not be used for any kind of excuse to lose against Mallorca. Let me make it simpler for you. When you don't have Benzema, he's the main leader in our attack. But you also need a leader at least in your attack or midfield. So there's no one at attack. So at midfield, there's also no one who can be a leader. For example, you have Kroos and Modric in the bench. So when you don't have Benzema, you need at least one of them should have played at midfield today. Now, if you ask me, this midfield is pretty solid. Like Fede and Ceballos and Tchouaméni, pretty good. However, Fede is a player who likes to have more space, who likes to run with the ball. When you play against Mallorca, do you really need him? Does he have any space to run behind? Not at all. So it would be ideal to play like Modric or Kroos instead of Fede.
They have to improve so much if they want to have a chance to fight against Barcelona for the title race. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for Real Madrid to catch Barcelona.
So the main difference between Real Madrid and Barcelona is consistency of winning. Consistency of not playing well, but winning. That's what that matters the most, as I said repeatedly many times. But why Real Madrid lost today? There are 2 main reasons. First of all, when you play a team like Mallorca who likes to defend all match, you cannot concede early. That is exactly what Real Madrid did today. And to make it worse, you need to score a goal and you got a penalty and you missed the penalty. That's a huge opportunity missed. If Real Madrid would have scored that goal, things could be different. And that penalty by Asensio is one of the worst penalty anyone can take. In my opinion, these 2 are the main reasons why Real Madrid lost points today. Conceding early and not scoring goals that they should have scored.
It's not good enough.
No, and while obviously the absence of Benzema is a big deal for Real Madrid, just in general, you look at Real Madrid and you're trying to find reasons to be positive. You're trying to find reasons to believe that this team can turn it around. And maybe the positives are that you have some players coming back from injury. But just as soon as you have players coming back from injury, you have Benzema going down with an injury. Militao, who I think is also an important player for Real Madrid, he's out with injury. Courtois, yet another decisive player, he's out with injury. And then we address the guys that are actually on the field. Vinny!
As I already said, injury is a big blow for Real Madrid, but that's not the only reason why Real Madrid lost today.
I've had this conversation with Vinny over the last 3 weeks. It's been a personal conversation with Vinny.
People say you're picking on Vinicius Junior. People in my notifications, Ali.
Is that right? Well, am I picking on him? Vinny!
So now he's going to blame Vinny for today's loss? Let's see.
Stop the fighting with the world and play the game. Do you think that Pablo Maffeo, the right back for Mallorca, wants you to be fighting with him or wants you to be running at him? If you make this about a fight, it makes it easier for defenders that cannot keep up with you physically. But if you're concerned about you're kissing the crest, kissing this guy's crest, you're arguing with the referee, arguing with the fan over here, you're arguing with everybody, and your game suffers, your play suffers, and Real Madrid suffers because of it. To that point, because he's whining, because he's complaining, because he's fighting, he gets another yellow card today, another dumb yellow card. What happens?
Did he say that Vinny got a yellow because of the whining? Vinny didn't get the yellow because of the whining. Actually, this is what proves that maybe he didn't watch the game, because Vinny got a yellow to have a tussle with the Mafia. I think that yellow not deserved at all. For example, Mallorca was making so many fouls, yet referee did not give them yellow. On the other hand, Vinny touched the defender a little bit, he got a yellow for no reason. Also, I don't understand why it is always Vinicius who has to be the main focus when Real Madrid lost a match. Because I don't think, even if he would not making those gesture whining, I don't think Real Madrid could win. Because whenever Vinny had ball today, like 4 or 5 players were against him. There's no player in the world right now can dribble and make something out of 4 or 5 players defending against him. Not even Mbappe, not even Messi. So let alone Vinny. You should blame tactical setup of Real Madrid rather than Vinicius for today's loss.
He's suspended for the next match. How does that help Real Madrid when you have so many absences to begin with? It doesn't.
Of course, missing out Vinicius is not ideal for Real Madrid's campaign. Even we have slim chance, we needed him because he's the only threat in our attack who makes chance, who creates chance. Also for today's loss, we can blame a lot of different factors, different things, referee, field, whatnot. But the main thing that we have to blame is ourselves. We just didn't create enough chance. For example, we had 20 shots. That looks decent on paper. But how many of them were on target? Only one of them. That was the penalty. And it is simple. If you don't create enough, you don't score. Anyway, I'm really frustrated after today's performance. I think we should have played much better than we did today. And let me know your thoughts about today's performance.